do your brake check. We'll go up to the run-up area.
Burlington, North Carolina.
Good, the wind cycle is still going to leave from 6.
1804 Zulu. Wind 350 at 07. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 08 Celsius. Dew point -11 Celsius. Altimeter 3018. Remarks. Density altitude -300. Burlington Alamance Regional Airport, Burlington, North Carolina. Automated weather observation 1805 Zulu. Wind 350 at 07. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 08 Celsius. Dew point -11 Celsius. Altimeter 3018. Remarks. Density altitude -300. Burlington Alamance Regional Airport, Burlington, North Carolina.
The storm's coming in, the pressure's starting to drop.
1805 Zulu. Wind 350 at 07.
Alright, 350 at 07, so be good to still take off from 6. At 50-50.
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143 departing on runway 6, Burlington traffic.
There you go, he just made the call for us. Okay, come up here, do my brake check, give you controls, and you can do your brake check. Alright, my brakes are good. You have the controls.
I got the flight controls.
You have the controls.
And my brakes work, you have the flight controls.
And Jeanette, they still work. Alright, I have the controls.
Here you go.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457, taxi runway 60 Alpha, Burlington. Right side's clear, left side's clear. Okay, so 141 ratings in. Let me... Instrument has to be 141. If it's 141. When I move above those two ratings, is there other things at 141, or are they just ratings?
You talking about the part? Yeah. You can do commercial 141.
Okay. Now the multi-engine and all that, does it matter?
They're just add-on ratings. They're not certificates. So, you don't have a 141 multi-course.
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143, turning crosswind runway 6, Burlington traffic. Traffic, Piper 15143, turning downwind, runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Checklist, passenger seats and seatbelts are still up, and seatbelts are still on. Cabin doors still closed and locked. Flight controls free and correct. Moving to the left. Left aileron is up, right aileron is down. Moving to the right side, right aileron is up, left aileron is down. Back pressure to the yoke, the elevator goes in the up position. Push down on the yoke, the elevator goes in the down position. Flight controls are free and clear. Checking the runner. And the runner's check, flight controls are free and correct. Radar weather's already been pulled. Altimeter's current settings 3018, 3018, 3018. Standby altimeter. Air pressure gauge is checked. Air pressure. Airspeed gauge is neutral. Looks good. Attitude indicator straight level. Altimeter equals PFD altitude. Quantities check. Left, right tank still has its issue. Both tanks are still full visual check. This goes all the way into rich. Fuel selectors on both. Elevator temp set in the takeoff position. Coming up to 1800.
Traffic, Piper 15143, turning base, runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Okay, 1800 RPMs, we're at 1810, going to the left side.
Burlington
Third drop, going back to boat.
143, turning final, runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Engine stable, going to right. Right at 50, going back to start. Verifying all the engines are still in the green, which they are. Come all the way back to idle. Make sure the aircraft doesn't stall out. Alright, communications frequency 1229 is set as primary with green. Approach is set at 126.0. And ATIS is set in communication radio. And primary is for the current field, and this set for Greensboro and communication radio number 2. Responder set to 122.0. Pilot check. All indicators on. Tension as we roll left. Tension as we roll right. Trim changed. The pilot's disconnected. No longer an indication. Ensuring the flight controls are still free and correct. Right side and left side. Elevator. Rudder. There. Flight controls are still free and correct. 12 volts is off. So that completes the run-up checklist. Return for ready for taxi to runway 6. Burlington traffic Cessna 60457, taxiing to runway 6 via Alpha Burlington. Alright, boss, so what's the plan out of here?
Runway heading to 3,000 feet.
Runway heading 3,000 feet. Alright. Takeoff checklist, windows, cabins, and doors closed. Strobe lights on, lane lights on, taxi lights on. Well, takeoff hasn't changed. Mixers all the way in for Rich. Pressure will lift the nose wheel 55. Climb out between 78. See any traffic on final. One last glance at the windsock. Small one still points towards us. Make a call. Nobody's in the field. Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457, departing runway 6, runway heading 3,000 feet, Burlington. And now it's warm, huh?
It was good, finally.
Alright, once again, nobody's still on final. Looking at the windsock, one last glance. Small one's pointing towards us. I see 6 runway, and we're coming up and heading 060.
Look at that windsock. Is it pointing at you?
It's pointing down the runway. Catty cornered. It's actually crossed.
It's point. You got a left or right crosswind. See that?
A second ago, we dipped down. Alright, engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed's alive. .25 knots.
traffic, Piper 15143, departing on runway 6, staying in the pattern, Burlington traffic.
Burlington traffic, Skyhawk 1305 Bravo is maneuvering 8 miles south of the airport. Burlington traffic.
Alright, next call we have is Burlington traffic. Cessna 0457. Departing Burlington, the northeast, 1,500 for 3,000. Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457 is departing Burlington to the northeast, 1,700 for 3,000 Burlington.
Hey, 457, proceed direct Liberty VOR, maintain 3,000 feet.
Alright. Give me a minute. Alright, 1330 is set. Alright, so directly behind us, so let's start our turn. Clearing the airspace. It's almost directly behind us, so we're on the course. Verified we've clicked into Liberty.
153, turning. Downwind runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Ain't gonna lie, I can't see it, but at least I can listen to it once.
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143, turning downwind runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Alright, 3,000 feet. For our cruise checklist. Alright, come in. Alright, start our lean procedures.
What's the last thing you do to get rid of all that noise? There you go. Remember, the Morse code identifier is usually about 10 seconds apart between transmissions. It may take you
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143,
20 seconds or so to get it.
6, Burlington traffic.
Let's go ahead and set our cruise power to about 2,400 RPM.
Alright, engine's already leaned up. I can't get a smooth day if my light.
Traffic, Piper 143.
Okay, so the arrows I was talking about.
Turning final runway 6, Burlington traffic.
So those arrows mean, look at them, one of them is a solid blue and the other's a kind of a hollow blue.
Correct.
That just tells you the difference between the presentation of the arrow between nav1 and nav2. So nav1 is always going to be a solid line. It's depicted green. Push your CDI to switch it to nav2. Now you've got hollow arrows. You see that?
Okay.
So that's a visual definition between presentation. So you just have to remember the solid arrows, nav1, the double arrow, the hollow arrows, nav2. Down in those boxes, that gives you the DME distance.
Right.
You see that?
We're 14 miles from Liberty.
All right. So you're actually got Liberty on both nav1 and nav2. But you're tracking it on nav1 because that's the green frequency. See that?
Yep.
So if you were to switch the radios to nav2 for whatever reason, let's say nav1 failed or whatever, you still have to verify that nav2 is still giving Liberty.
Right.
That you got a different indicator. This little arrowhead right there shows that you're going 2.
43, clear of runway 6, Burlington traffic.
When you pass it, it's going to flip to from. Now, if you look at the CDI, it's deviated about.
Skyhawk 130.
It's deviated to the right. How do you fix that?
Fly to the right.
How many degrees would you fly to the right?
5. See if it comes back.
The rule of thumb is that the CDI is half scale deflected, fly 15 degrees towards it. If it's full scale deflected, fly 30 degrees towards it. What you have to do is to pull the CDI, the course deviation indicator, towards you by flying to it. As it begins to touch the airplane, take out some of that angle, but with 5 degrees. Then maybe another 5 degrees. Trying to find whatever heading it's going to take to keep it centered up. And the reason you got to do that is because of winds. If you look up here, you got a 6-knot wind off your right front blowing us this way.
Right.
So your heading is not going to be the same as the course. That's a visualization aid. The wind vector up here will always help you determine which ways of wind blowing on you, from what direction, and how fast. So if you were looking out the window for the little VOR transmitter, where are you going to be looking out your window?
That way.
That's correct.
And I can't get a smooth day to save my life, huh?
Try not to get so locked up on heading as you forget your altitude.
No, I'm watching.
Well, in the weather, it's pretty obvious you haven't been saying your prayers.
I read something I'll show you when we get back. The day when I was mad, it just happened to pop up on, I think it was Sporty's page, their little Facebook page. And, just like, you know something, you're right. Does an airplane take off with the wind or against the wind?
Is that a question?
Yeah, that's the way it was phrased. So if you're being if you're frustrated, airplane fights the wind every day. If they expect things to just go nice and easy, they usually don't.
So let's get that CDI centered up. Does that picture make sense to you with the CDI to the right?
Yep, it does.
So which side of the VOR are you on, left or right?
I'm on our right, or our left, but it's... Wait,
Burlington traffic, Piper 1.
VOR's out here.
3 departing on runway 6, staying in the pattern.
So you're left of the course line, right?
Yep.
The objective is to keep that CDI centered up so it looks like it's a calm, straight arrow from one end of the indicator to the other. And it's better to get it centered out here than up close to it, because like we talked about on the ground, those radials get closer to the transmitter. The receiver doesn't have that much sensitivity to keep them separated the closer you get to it, so that CDI is going to dance around. can glance at the bottom in that box to see your DME reading. Right now we're about 4, but the CDI will start to dance around about a mile or less from the transmitter. Also, keep in mind that that mileage right there is not a horizontal distance. Remember in your reading what it gives you? DME gives you what kind of distance?
No.
It gives you slant range distance.
Oh, yep.
So we're stay at 3,000 feet. When you cross the VOR, it'll never say 0 right there. I'll give you maybe a half a mile. This reading between your airplane and the transmitter on the ground. When you and Mike were flying out here the other day on your cross country, did he show you what a VOR transmitter looks like?
Yep, I've seen one before too, so that was easy.
All right.
Big white circle. Pointy top.
Yeah. You have it in sight. Right here.
Oh.
Burlington traffic.
Right over your nose.
43, turning downwind, runway 6, Burlington.
Lower
right
your nose just a little bit.
Oh, there it is right there.
Out there in that open field. Now, when you pass over it, what's going to happen to your indicator?
The blue arrow is going to go the opposite direction.
What else is going to happen?
The arrow is going to switch.
All right.
And I ain't never seen a bug at 3,000 feet before, but that was interesting.
Let me know when you pass it.
There it goes past.
Okay.
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143, turning base runway.
So let's prepare to go to Greensboro. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Yes.
All right.
Wind calm. Visibility 10.
Burlington traffic, Piper
25,000
turning final, runway 6,
Temperature 7. Dew point minus 11. Altimeter 3017. Visual approach 5 right, 5 left and U. Departing runway 5 right, 5 left. Bird activity vicinity airport. Read Michael runway hold short instruction. Contact ground on 121.9 for clearance and taxi instruction. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information kilo. Greensboro Airport information kilo 1754 Wind calm.
Traffic, Piper 15143,
Visibility 10.
going around.
25,000 meters.
Burlington traffic.
Temperature 7. Dew point minus 11. Altimeter 3017. Visual approach 5 right, 5 left and U. Departing runway 5 right, 5 left. Bird activity vicinity airport. Read Michael runway hold short instruction. Contact ground on 121.9 for clearance and taxi instruction. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information kilo.
All right, you get all that?
Do. Lane departing on 5 left, 5 right. Current information is kilo and current altimeter is 3017.
143, turning crosswind runway 6, Burlington traffic.
All right. Take me to the Greensboro VOR.
Burlington traffic, Piper 15143, turning downwind.
116.2. fair day to do this. GSO has been identified.
You don't have to do that. I know you know how to do it.
All right. Start our right turn.
On the right.
Approximately 25.4 miles.
Are you going to turn to?
I'm turning to approximately 015.
Before you even turn the airplane, but the radio will take you to the Greensboro VOR.
Piper 15143, turning base, runway 6, Burlington traffic.
Sorry, 330.
Are you sure about that?
Burlington
In a minute.
Piper 15143, turning final, runway 6.
I'm pretty sure.
Traffic.
What's wrong with your CDI indications?
The lines lined up. Both lines are lined up.
Your heading is correct. VOR is wrong. Where's the big arrowhead on the VOR pointing?
The arrowhead is pointing toward us. This frequency is set to Liberty. That frequency is set to Greensboro.
Your big arrowhead for Greensboro is pointing to 0, whatever it is. Looks like 12, 13, 14, 145. You're doing what they call reverse sensing, which is not a good idea.
All right, 338.
Remember, your course, your heading should approximate each other. In a no-win situation, they'll be exact. You want to set that before you make your turn. That way it'll tell you what your radial is. It's going to track to the VOR. Okay, so you got your ATIS, which is information kilo, and you're going to be talking to who?
143, clear of runway 6, Burlington.
Greensboro approach.
On what frequency?
126.60.
Load it up.
It's loaded.
What you're listening for is a break in the action. You know, give it about 5 seconds or so. Make sure he's not transmitting or somebody's responding.
Calling approach, say again.
That's the 737 Zulu Golf.
What are you going to say?
The Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457, and we firm to respond.
All right, now I'm going to be approach. 457 Greensboro approach.
Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457 with information kilo, 21 miles to the south, southeast, 3,300 feet.
And what do you want?
Request permission to land in Greensboro.
There's no request, just tell him you are landing Greensboro.
Okay, land Greensboro.
All right, then he's going to come back and say what?
Provide a transponder code.
All right.
Follow on and further along instructions.
All right. Whenever you're ready. Get ready to write stuff down because he's going to come back with it.
I just realized this plane is not made for left-handed people. Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457.
November 7 Zulu Golf, radar contact 20 miles south of Greensboro Airport. fly heading 350 vectors for the sequence.
050 for the heading. 7 Zulu Golf.
7 Zulu Golf, heading 350.
Heading 350, 7 Zulu Golf. Vectors for the ILS, runway 5 left.
7 Zulu Golf, are you asking for the ILS approach?
Affirmative, I'd like to request the ILS 5 left, Zulu Golf.
20 miles out.
You can expect that.
Zulu Golf.
Alright, one more call. Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457.
Cessna 60457, Greensboro.
Greensboro, Cessna 60457, 17 miles southeast, 3,200 feet. Student pilot with information kilo.
November 60457, squawk 0142, ident.
Cessna, Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457, squawk 0142, and ident.
November 7 Zulu Golf, turn left heading 320 vectors for the ILS 5 left.
320, 7 Zulu Golf.
November 457, radar contact, 15 miles southeast of Greensboro, and are you looking for an approach or just VFR coming in?
Landing VFR.
Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457, looking VFR, landing Greensboro.
November 457, roger, fly heading 320 vectors for the airport. Are you familiar with the antenna at your 10 o'clock?
Roger, antenna in sight, 457. And Greensboro approach, fly heading 320 for 60457. I'm not turning before that antenna, that's probably a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
Greensboro 2298 Whiskey.
As long as you stay at 3,000 feet, you're above it.
Not by much.
Don't ever come down here near this lake below 3,000 feet. If you're out here practicing on your own.
IFR flight plan with you at this time.
You got this one, you got the one behind it, and there's another one over there too.
Squawk VFR and frequency change approved.
Squawk and VFR, change it over 2298 Whiskey. Good day.
Good day.
Alright, what's tower frequency?
Our frequency is 119.1.
November 60457, changing to runway 23, fly heading 010 vectors for 23 right.
010?
010.
Greensboro approach, Cessna 60457, no right turn 010 and expect 23 right for 60457.
November 7 Zulu Golf, turn right heading 050 vectors, final approach course, expect the ILS 23 right now.
050, Skyhawk 737 Zulu Golf.
November 5 Mike Charlie, what's your on-course setting?
Yeah, it looks like about 281.
Roger.
Greensboro approach, Cessna 457, request.
November 457, say request.
Yes, sir. A student pilot here. We'd like 23 left if possible, and we'll full stop landmark.
November 457, roger, expect 23 left.
23 left for 457.
Okay, what was our approach frequency again? 119?
Stop, let me Charlie with you 9,000.
Tower frequency is 119.1.
Fox 55, Lima Charlie, Greensboro approach, roger, altimeter 3015.
119.1.
3015, 55 Lima Charlie.
Off to the left.
Now, he's vectoring you, so it doesn't matter about the VOR tracking.
Right.
That makes sense?
I'm not even worried about it.
Now, Where would you say the airport is relative to where you're at?
West, it's right there.
That's another way to find out if you're not quite sure.
Look here, look at the map.
Map will always help you.
Greensboro Approach, Skylane 1910, Mike 8000.
Skylane 1910, Mike Greensboro Approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015.
015, Mike.
I want 23 left because it's easier to get off at Landmark. Plus, we're not going to shut down. We're just going to get out here, and then we're going to work our way back out, come back to Burlington. All you got to do now is just pay attention to what he's telling you. Read it back all the way.
And fly the plane.
And fly the plane. He may give you a different frequency for the approach. They've been known to do that from time to time. If he wants you to call Greensboro Approach on a different frequency, he'll give that to you, and you write it down, read it back. When you call the new approach control, you just tell them you're Cessna 60457 at 3000.
November 457, contact approach 124.35.
12435. And Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457, roger, order approach on 124.35. 457.
All right, dial it in. Now, he knows you're coming, so all you have to do is say Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457 at 3000.
Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457, 3,000 feet.
November 60457, Greensboro Approach, Greensboro altimeter 3014.
Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457, 3014.
Hey, you see the airport in sight? All right. It's always a good idea, if you see the airport before he asks you for it, to go ahead and just tell him. That means he says, okay, you're visual to the field. He may give you a heading to fly straight to the field or tell you to call tower or whatever. But you help him to help you by the time you got the airport in sight. Go ahead and tell him that.
Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457, field in sight.
265 Delta Bravo with you, heading 360.
November 457, entering left base, runway 23 left, and contact Greensboro Tower 119.1.
Left base, 23 left.
265 Delta Bravo with you, level 3000.
Greensboro Approach, Cessna 60457, over Tower 119.10, and left base for 23 left, 457.
All right, I need one at a time. November 457, entering left base, runway 23 left.
Left base, 23 left, 457.
November 457, contact Greensboro Tower 119.1.
Over to Tower 119.10 for 457.
November 5 Delta Bravo, flying 050, vectors for the ILS, runway 23 right. And how will this one terminate?
All right, so if I'm going to enter a left base, am I doing the right thing?
Stop, 23 left.
Towards the smokestack. And flip it over to tower. Now, how far are you from estimated?
8 miles.
Okay, so you're about 10 here. So you call the tower and tell them what?
Cessna 60457, 2 miles southeast, 3,000 feet. Thing 23 left.
Yeah, left base for 23 left.
Greensboro Power is Cessna 60457 southeast, 7 miles, 3,000 feet, entering the left base for 23 left, 457.
November 60457, Greensboro Tower, wind 1706, runway 23 left, clear to land.
Clear to land.
Clear to land, 457.
Clear to land, 23 left. Okay, so between here and the time you get off at the taxiway, you've got it.
Alright, so
because you're out here, you're coming in, you're going to make the first, you're on the left base for 23 left. You're a little bit too far in, you're about midfield, so circle it out a little bit to the right. Point the nose at the power station out there with the steam coming out of it.
Aircell 2708, contact for today.
Contact budget.
At an altitude over here is 1,900 feet. Make sense?
Yep, I'm just used to being a whole lot closer than what we are.
That's fine. That's what controllers do. So this is why you have to modify your thinking when you're coming into these towered fields. They can do different things to you that you wouldn't necessarily see at a non-towered field. She's cleared you to land, so no more communications required. We didn't put the tower or the ground control frequency in there.
That's what I was going to ask you, 121.9.
121.9er, yeah. All right, and do your before landing checklist items.
Name mixes all the way in, landing, taxi, license, strobe lights are on. Goes with both.
All right. So when you turn final out here, what altitude do you want to be at?
Good question.
Well, what altitude do you normally?
Not available.
At Burlington, you're turning final at 1,000. How high is that off the ground?
400 feet.
All right. So what's 400 from 900?
I want to be at 1,300 feet.
Are you going to be higher than that? No, you're right. You're going to be lower than that. The field elevation is 900 feet, roughly.
9 plus 4 is 1,300.
All right. That's what you want to be at. Now, do you see the outline of the airport?
I do have the field in sight. I'm just looking for the runway.
It'll be this one on this side. This is how that airport's laid out. Right here's your runway. It'll be the first one. Not easily discernible because of all the ground clutter, but it will come to you.
Okay, so at some point I want to add 10 degrees of flaps.
Yep, you can do that now if you'd like.
All right, 10 degrees of flaps are in.
You know you're on the base leg, so you basically, when you turn final, you want 2 notches of flaps in.
Nope.
So what's going to be your base leg speed?
One down to 75.
All right.
I'm not quite sure I'm at base yet.
You are.
All right, so there's 20. Back on the power. The houses out here.
How do you see 2-3 left?
Do.
All right. Now it just becomes a normal landing, just like at Burlington.
All right. I'm assuming I still need to be checking.
Yep. Just because the controllers cleared you to land, never obligate your responsibility for seeing and avoiding. It's downtown Winston-Salem, by the way.
All right. Not quite ready to turn. Flaps. Lights in sight. 2-3 and an L. 35 knots. Slightly low. Marker.
Greensboro Tower, 265 Delta Bravo.
Road 265 Delta Bravo, Greensboro Tower.
Will be full top stop this time, 265 Delta Bravo.
Road 265 Delta Bravo, wind calm, runway 23 right, clear to land.
Okay, 23 right, clear to land, 265 Delta Bravo.
Can't see the wind side.
Crosswind is from the right. You got the ATIS, right?
Road 60457, where are you parking?
Oh, we're going to landmark, ma'am.
Road 60457, you can continue down to Kilo 1, turn right at Kilo 1, taxiing to landmark.
At a Kilo 1 to landmark, Cessna 457. Before you get into the final approach segment, the wind marker to your wind direction per the ATIS. That way at a glance you will know what kind of wind you're going to be dealing with. Just like you would at Burlington. It's no different. This is Kilo 2. We're going to get off at Kilo 1 and go straight in to that parking area over there. I'll point you where they're going to want to park it, but I'm going to show you where to go. Because we're not shutting down and getting out. Now, on your taxi, it's okay to clean up the airplane.
The flaps are up, fixes is lean.
This is Kilo 1. We want you to stay with her. She was saying, take Kilo 1, taxi to landmark. Right? Right. So you don't really have to change the ground. She's up there and cleared us all the way to landmark. Just keep on going. Cut your landing taxi and your strobe off. What we're going to do is when we get up here, we're going to turn to the right over here. Look over here in between these two, between that hangar and this building. Okay? I'm going to wave him off. That fire hydrant right there, go over there. He ain't looking anyway. He ain't paying no attention. Just go over here between this road and that other fire hydrant. And turn it around, aim it back this way. This is pretty good. Keep it close to the edge of the grass when you do this, so we're out of everybody's way. Just swing it back over there next to the edge of the grass, then we'll be out of everybody's way. Okay. Now, getting out of here. All right, just like we talked about on the ground back there. First thing we're going to do is what? Clearance. Let's say you just fired up and everything's ready.
Datus?
7.
Right.
Visual approach 23 right, 2. Greensboro Airport information Mike 1854 Zulu. Wind 240 at 6. Visibility 10. Ceiling 25,000 broken. Temperature 8. Dew point -12. Altimeter 3013. Visual approach 23 right, 23 left in use. Bird activity vicinity airport. Read Michael runway hold short instructions. Contact ground on 121.9er for clearance and taxi instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information like for clearance and taxi instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information like Greensboro Airport information like 18540. Wind 240 at 6. Visibility 10. Ceiling 25,000 broken. Temperature 8. Dew point -12. Altimeter 3013. Visual approach 23 right, 23 left in use. Bird activity within the airport. Read cycle runway hold short instructions. Contact ground on 121.9er for clearance and taxi instructions.
Okay, so 121.9 will be ground for clearance and taxi instructions, so we make the call baseball ground, Cessna 60457 at landmark requesting clearance to Burlington.
Right, get just like you did on the approach, you want to get their attention. Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457. Cessna 457, Greensboro ground.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457 with information to Burlington.
Okay, so they want more information than that. So you're going to say Cessna 457 is a Cessna 172 VFR at 3,500 feet, direct Burlington. You'll tell them who you are, where you are, what do you want. The ground, Cessna 60457 is a Cessna 172 at Landmark Aviation, far to Burlington at 3,500 feet. Information, Mike.
Greensboro ground, 265 Delta Bravo, holding short 23 right.
And what do you expect them to say?
Come back and they'll read us all our clearance information.
They'll come back and say 457.
265 Delta Bravo, you can contact the ground point owner.
I'll say 457, maintain VFR out of below 3,000 or whatever. Departure frequency is whatever. Squawk code is whatever. Put it all down, read it all back. Ready?
For ground Atlantic Aero, truck 207 at Alpha 2 to reposition to Atlantic Aero.
Truck 207, Greensboro ground, cross runway 14 at Alpha 2, proceed Delta 1 to Atlantic Aero.
Truck 207 proceeding across Alpha 2 at Delta 14 to Atlantic Aero.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457.
Cessna 60457, Greensboro ground.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457 is a Cessna 172 at Landmark Aviation. VFR flight 3,500, direct to Burlington with information, Mike.
November 60457, maintain VFR at or below 3,000. Departure frequency will be 126.6, squawk 5142.
And Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457, roger, maintain 3,000 VFR, 3,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.60, and we'll squawk 5142 for 457.
November 457, readback is correct.
Atlantic Aero, truck 207, all clear.
Truck 207, roger.
All right, at this point, we'd request clearance to taxi to runway.
Yep, I would just say that.
Greensboro ground, Cook 12.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457, group testing.
Ground Cook 12, service.
Clearance to the active.
Want to go down Echo left on hotel to the off-road, please.
23 left.
So 457, Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457 is at Landmark Aviation. Information Mike, ready for taxi. We'll come back and give you the taxi instructions. Write them down, read them back. Go.
457, advise ready to taxi.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457 and Landmark Aviation, ready for taxi.
Cessna 457, make a 180 and use the Julia 1 exit behind you. Runway 23 left, taxi via Julia 1, Kilo 6.
Okay, perform a 180, exit at Juliet, taxi to 23 left via Juliet 1,
Twin Cessna
Kilo
5 Delta Bravo,
Kilo
use
6.
the Kilo 1 entrance to the ramp.
Okay, Delta Bravo will use Kilo 1.
And Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457, we'll do a 180, exit at Juliet 1, taxi out to 23 left via Juliet 1, Kilo 6, 457.
That's correct, and Cessna 457, traffic is a twin Cessna taxiing in on Kilo 1 to the ramp.
Traffic inside 457.
Roger. You can use Kilo 1 behind him if you prefer to not do the 180, it doesn't make a difference.
Greensboro ground, Cessna 60457, roger, he's clear, Kilo 1, we'll taxi out via Kilo 1, 457.
Roger.
Ground, Liberty 648 X-ray Lima.
Liberty 648 X-ray Lima, Greensboro ground.
Liberty 648 X-ray Lima is Liberty XL2, like to go up to Blues Creek, VFR 3,000 feet with Mike.
This is what it's all about right here, Van. Day.
It is.
Liberty 648 X-ray Lima, maintain VFR at or below 3,000, departure frequency 124.35, squawk 5145.
Okay, 3,024.35, squawk 5145 for Liberty 648 X-ray Lima, and we are ready to taxi from Atlantic Arrow.
Liberty 648 X-ray Lima, roger, and stand by on your taxi. Cessna 7 Zulu Golf, stay parking.
Greensboro ground, 7 Zulu Golf, Corey Aviation.
Cessna 737 Zulu Golf, taxi to Corey via hotel, and Delta 1, cross runway 14.
Hotel Delta 1, cross runway 1432, altitude to the ramp, 7 Zulu Golf.
Liberty 8 X-ray Lima, hold short of taxiway Delta at Delta 2, plan runway 23 right.
Okay, we're going to plan 23 right, we're going to hold short of Delta at Delta 2, Liberty 648 X-ray Lima.
Looking at your taxi diagram, where's Kilo 6 taxiway?
34.
And 23534,
right.
standby.
534, standby.
Times the
Liberty 8 X-ray Lima, you're coming out Delta 1, so hold short of Delta there then. You're not on Delta 2.
Right, I was going to hold short of Delta 2. All right, holding short here, Delta 1, 8 X-ray Lima.
Roger.
Sometimes the controllers want to give you an intersection takeoff, like Kilo 3.
Truck 12, thank you.
Always decline it. If you have an engine failure between taking off from Kilo 3, look at all that extra runway you've got that you could have used to land.
Correction, was it November 23534, and say your type again?
Sedan's 23534, we're BE33, IFR to Asheboro, and we have Mike.
What altitude?
We'd like 3,000, work it out. 534.
And to 23534, roger, stand
It's a pretty airplane now.
VFR clearance.
534, we're looking for an IFR if it's in there, if not, we'll take the VFR.
51 Air. Never
Yes,
heard
it is. November 23534, cleared to Asheboro Airport, as filed, maintain 3,000. Departure frequency will be 126.6, squawk 5117.
534 is cleared to Hotel Bravo India as filed up to 3000, departure frequency 126.6, squawk 5117, 534.
Bonanza 534, readback is correct, Liberty 8 X-ray Lima, runway 23 right, taxi via Delta and Hotel.
Okay, on our way to 23 right via Delta and Hotel, Liberty 648 X-ray Lima.
Bonanza 534, are you ready to taxi?
534, ready to taxi to Atlantic Air.
Bonanza 534, runway 23 left, taxi via Delta, Kilo 6.
534, via Delta, Kilo 6, 23 left, 534, taxi.
It's a good day to come over here. There's nobody flying. It's unbelievable. It's the quietest I've ever seen it.
It's probably a good thing right now. All right, coming up on the hold short line. All right, takeoff checklist. Mixes lurch.
Is this the whole short line?
This is the ILS hold short line.
There's the whole short line, huh? Are you sure?
Nope.
What's it look like?
Looks like that one.
Same whole short line is here that it is a few extra markings. See this little hatchet line on either side of the center line? Yep. That's telling you got 100 feet to go. 3 left on both sides, just warning you that the runway is dead ahead. The whole short line is the same marking.
All right.
Now what are you going to do after you do your before takeoff checklist?
Before takeoff, if laps up, mixes lean, land. Lights are on. We'll switch over to the tower. I'm holding short 2. Before I do that, however, I am going to put the departure. Alright, so the call would be Greensboro Tower, Cessna 6045. Then holding short 23 left.
Ready for
takeoff. Greensboro Tower, Cessna 60457, holding short 23 left, ready for takeoff.
60457, Greensboro Tower, ready.
As soon as he clears you for takeoff, you're going to say,
Greensboro Tower, Cessna 60457, repeat any instructions he's given me and for takeoff.
Over takeoff. As you're climbing out, and he says 457 contact departure, what are you going to say?
Greensboro Tower, Cessna 60457, roger over to departure on 126 decibels. Have a good day.
And you're going to tell departure what?
Whatever heading we are, the altitude we're climbing through for the assigned altitude should be 3,000.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, now once you turn right at Kilo 3, contact ground point 9. 901 Whiskey, right at Kilo 3, and I'll contact ground on point 9. Thank you, sir.
That's 60457, runway 23 left, fly runway heading clear for takeoff.
Greensboro Tower, Cessna 60457, runway heading to 3000, clear for takeoff. 457. Great, runway heading, which is 234.
Forget to check, just in case.
On the length of this runway, I might be able to get 3,000 feet before we get to the end of it. Alright, nobody's on final, runway's clear, looking for the windsock. It's all the way down midfield, I don't see it. Four deck is pointed toward us, 2, 3, and the left are in front of us.
Actually have one right there in that, so just over the corner, see it right there?
Yeah. Alright, here we go. Good for 55 knots, engine instruments are in the green. 5, rotate.
Greensboro Tower, W648, X-ray Lima, ready for takeoff. Hotel 4, 23 right.
364 X-ray Lima, Grace Tower, runway 23 right, turn right heading 300, clear for takeoff.
Alright, we're going to turn right hand, 300, clear for takeoff, 23 right, W648, X-ray Lima.
Bonanza 23534, Greensboro Tower, runway 23 left, fly runway heading clear for takeoff. Bonanza 23534, Greensboro Tower, runway 23 left, fly runway heading clear for takeoff.
534, we'll fly runway heading clear for takeoff, 23 left.
That's the 457, turn left heading 140.
Left turn 140, 457.
That's 457, contact departure.
Greensboro Tower, Cessna 60457, roger, over departure on 126 to 460. Thanks, have a great day.
Thanks.
Charlie Victor, contact Charlotte approach 128.32.
128.32.
Greensboro departure, Cessna 6045 setting, heading 140, 2004, 44, 3000.
November 60457, Greensboro departure, radar contact VFR climb to requested altitude is approved.
Roger, 457 cleared up to 3000.
What altitude you going to?
3000. That's what he gave us earlier.
But you told him you wanted 3,500, right?
Oh, yep, okay, 3,500, you're right.
If you read back to him 3,000, just stay there. That's one small difference you got to be aware of. If you want to fly at 3,500, we're going to give you a temporary altitude that may radar identify you. If he comes back and said you clear to your vehicle, requested altitude, then tell him 3,500 going up.
Just maintain 3,000.
534, 3000, we'd like to VOR Alpha into Ashburn. Just want to get out.
Plans 534, roger. November 457, proceed on course to Burlington.
Greensboro departure, Cessna 60457, cleared direct to Burlington. Alright, so after takeoff for a cruise checklist, Things up. Just coming out to lean. We go 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2, leaned out. All right, heading 096.
Bonanza 534 has a weather dashboard.
Bonanza 534, roger, thank you.
Afternoon, Greensboro,
Piedmont 4272, Greensboro approach. Greensboro altimeter 3012.
3012.
Landing and taxi lights off. You got it.
050 vectors visual approach. Descend and maintain 7,000.
7,050 heading actual 2764.
All right, field frequency set for 122.9 or 75, and pistol sweat set for
show you a little trick. There's your ATIS or ASOS. There's your CTAF. So when he's done with you, all you got to do is push that.
Burlington Alamance Regional Airport.
Join the Greensboro 173.
And you're on that. You're on the two frequencies at your destination.
Radio off Greensboro.
What you want to do is use the radio frequencies per airport. Keeps you from getting bounced around between one and the other.
Shuttle 27,
as well as getting cross feed when you're trying to listen to one radio while you're listening to the other.
64. Good day.
Makes sense? So he could come back and give you another frequency here to contact Greensboro departure on. Doubt it, but he could. The way you're on one radio, you got a spare frequency you can adjust, then flip it over. How far are we from Burlington?
15 miles.
You have it in sight?
Think I do.
When you're sure, tell them you got the airport in sight. But there's a caveat to that. Don't ever say you got an airport in sight if you're guessing. You want to be absolutely certain that you have it in sight.
I'm about positive that's our field. It's a heck of a hole.
Yes, it is. And you've seen the one up here, haven't you? Beside the airport. Burlington. Going about that deep up here. The rock quarry.
All right, so we're going to make our call Greensboro departure Cessna 60457. The Burlington in sight. That suffice?
That works.
Greensboro departure Cessna 60457 has Burlington in sight.
November 457, roger. No traffic observed between you and Burlington Airport. There is one target about 6 miles southwest of the airport. Maneuvering. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR change to advisory frequency approved.
Greensboro departure, sector 60457, Roger, Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Thanks, sir. Have a great day. If I could just get a damn smooth day just once. Alright, 1220 set in the altimeter. Clear the field frequency and we're going to check the weather.
You didn't hear a thing I said, did you?
No, that's beat into my head to do it like that. I did hear you, however.
Wind variable.
Let me show you something.
4.
Makes it a lot easier. Here's your frequencies. Push that.
08 Celsius.
Hey, you're not cross speeding. If you start hearing what departure's saying while you're listening to that, it'll really confuse your day.
Remarks. Density altitude minus 200. Burlington Alamance Regional Airport, Burlington, North Carolina. Automated
It's just the
weather
best practice. I'd work on that.
1921 Zulu. Wind variable at 04. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 08 Celsius. Dew point minus 11 Celsius. Altimeter 3014. Remarks. Density altitude minus 200.
How I shut it up now?
Alamance Regional Airport, Burlington, North Carolina.
Power key. There you go.
Alright, we're 10 miles out, so I need to make the call. I don't hear any traffic, so we'll just remaintain with that runway 6. Burlington traffic, SS 60457, 8 miles out, 3,400 feet to the west, landing runway 6, Burlington. Alright, starter descent and checklist. This goes all the way into Rich. Landing lights, taxi lights are on. Is there a lake? Just got to get in a routine, Van. Single pilot can do this, right? You just got to get in a routine.
In a rotation. What are you talking about?
To get in a routine to be able to do everything at once.
As you have the opportunity, just practice. Go through it on the ground. I'll check. Did I ever send you how to communicate in Greensboro or any hard field?
Yeah.
So get your wife to practice. Let her be the tower. You make a copy of it and let her read to her and she reads to you. Follow that little outline I've got. Do you have a scanner where you can pick up aircraft?
Yeah.
Can you hear it from where you live in Fayetteville?
Huh?
Listen to the approach frequency.
It's not very busy.
Well, get online to that ATC Live website. Yep. Listen to that one as much as you can. You'll hear the trend, what they normally say all the time.
Burlington traffic, SS 60457, 2,200 feet to the west of Burlington, 4 miles, landing runway 6, Burlington. Alright, I have the field. Not quite at the 45 though. Start our turn for the downwind. Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457. Entering the downwind 45 for runway 6 Burlington.
Is not available.
Alright. Back to 1400. The flap. 480. Alright, looking to make sure nobody's on final, or nobody's in the approach. Alright, turning base for 6. Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457, turning base for runway 6 Burlington. The 10 degrees are in. Alright, looking to make sure nobody's on final, nobody's on the field. And turning final for runway 6. Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457, turning final runway 6 Burlington.
Is not available.
That's a full.
Here's your airspeed. Should your airspeed be?
And about there.
60 to 65.
That was probably the best landing I had all day.
You had plenty of practice at it. It was a smooth landing. But you got to remember those speeds, Steve. No, I don't know what else to tell you about that. If you come in hot like that, you're going to end up floating. Floating and floating. And if you're going into a short field, we'll do that soon. Maybe next time. It won't work if you're going to get it down and stop. It'll work here because you got over a mile runway.
Burlington traffic, Cessna 60457, clear the active taxi to ramp via Alpha Burlington.
For somebody that's really wanting to do this right, you got to get it in your mind those procedures are in the pattern. Because if you don't apply it exactly the same process every time, going into a 2,200 foot field is going to be a whole lot different than coming in on a 6,000 foot field. 75, or 85, 75, and 65. 20, 30 degree flap. You get in the habit is when you're making that base to final turn, looking out how high you are. You know, you got 4 lights out here, the 4 light Pappy. It's all 4 white. You know you're too high. So pick up on that as you make that turn, get your power out and your flaps in.